Today we are going to see the new features within the version we are going to release today, the version 9.13.006. I was here already 2 weeks ago to present you the new macros, the events. Since then, we've added a little more features to this version. So I'm going to update today the complete list of features. And I'm going also to show you a preview of the AI integration that we are doing with the Scriptcase. So the idea is to do this overview for you to have an idea of what is coming in the next releases. Also to talk about the PHP update. So we have different topics for today. So I will divide in two parts. I will first talk about the new options inside the version 9.13.006. I'm going to overview again the macros and events and show you the new options. And then we are going to preview the integration with AI. Okay? It's live. You can ask questions. So let me present here the slides just to organize the ideas. Let me, oops. Okay. So within this version we are releasing today, we are doing this big change inside the dashboard by adding the events and the new macros. And we also have added important options to the Gantt chart. So then we close the version 9.13. For the dashboard, we know that we have the new events, and those events will make the dashboard more powerful for you to do dynamic changes. So you'll be able to use the global variables to manipulate the SQLs and also the events to change the widgets. So you are going to be able now to dynamically change the information. I've prepared also an example to show you. So basically we have the option now to use the global variables inside the where clauses. I'm going to open here one dashboard I've prepared. Let me open the project. Okay, so we have here the widgets. And we have three types of widget. We have divider, index, and link. So the divider is new from version 9.13. Then we have the changes inside the index. One of the changes inside the 9.13 is the option to add a select command. And inside this release, we are adding the option to add the global variables. Okay, so with this option, you'll be able to pass parameters to the widgets. So in this example here, I did one grid application and I have added one button inside the action bar. Okay, so let me open here the grid application. Inside the action bar, I have added one button and I'm linking this button with the dashboard. It's just one dashboard, and then I have here the dashboard, and I'm passing the parameter for the global variable with the name of the company. So we have different companies, and then each company will have a one specific dashboard. Without this update, we had to create different dashboards. For example, I would have to create one dashboard for each company. But now with the global variables, we are able to use the option just by creating one unique dashboard. Okay, so we have here the dashboard, and inside each widget, we are passing the global variable inside the where clause. And then we have also chart. I have created two charts, and then inside the charts, we can also add the global variable inside the SQL. This is not new, but just for you to see how the process is being doing here. So inside the where clause of the chart application, we are also adding the global variable. And this way, when we select the company, we see the dashboard. Let me just close here the debug mode inside the dashboard. Settings, debug mode, okay. And then if I select store RTU, I have here the information, store ABC, store X. So we see that the colors and the numbers changes according to the information. I've also added inside the widgets the option to reload the widget. This is not new, but it's something very useful for this case. So inside properties, we have this option to reload the widget. I'm adding here 10 seconds. So every 10 seconds, we have this reload. You can also add for the link widget. You have the option here to reload. For the case of the link widgets, I'm using only for the indexes, because then I want to show the values changing. I have created here one blank application just to update the table and add some random data, and this way I can simulate that someone is adding sales, for example, because then I want to show you here the real-time interaction. Sorry, let me run again. I need to have it in the background. So I'm going to run again the grid application. And then we are going to have the update every 10 seconds. Let me try to wait here. So we have the first load, and then after 10 seconds, we are going to have the update with new records. So as we can see, the value changes. The value changes, and then we can have this inside all the dashboards. In fact, we have only one dashboard with different information. So this is very interesting here because it was not possible before in the version 9.13. Okay, so we are using here the macros that I'm going to explain now to change the colors, to change the information. So we are also changing here inside the divider. We are also changing the name of the store. So you can use this variable. If I add here inside the dashboard, if I access, for example, the divider, I can see that I have also the name being changed according to the store. Okay. So is there any questions so far? Now I'm going to talk about the macros. Okay. Yeah, that's very nice. I agree. Yeah, because it was, since we didn't have, for example, the events, it was not possible to do something like that. Not easy like that. Yeah. Okay. So back here to the presentation, we can talk now about how everything can be dynamic. So this is possible because of the events we have added to this application. They are three. We have application init, script init, and on widget load. Okay, so the application init runs once on the first load. It defines the global parameters and initial state, for example. Like here we have the application init. defining here the select, okay, the initial one. And then we have the other event, the script init, that runs every script at every script access. So you can use to update data, execute validations, recurring logic. And then we have the widget load. This type of events we also have in other applications. So inside the form application, grid application, we have the onload. Like for example, the onload is the same of the widget load. And then this one is that would be the most important one that triggers whenever a widget is rendered. So if you have 6 widgets, for example, you're going to run the event is going to run 6 times. It's ideal for conditional logic, personalization, and the new macros usage. So the new macros, we have 4 macros. The widget config that configures the colors, borders, titles, attributes. Then we have the widget data that accesses the data like value, variation, periods. So everything we have inside the widgets, for example, here the variation, the last period, the years. So you can control and access the values to display or just to consult or to view. Then we have the widget name. This is for you to get the name of the widgets and then manipulate each widget will have a ID. So if you go here to the widgets, and then you can see that we have the title and then the ID with the widget name. This is the information you're going to use to identify the ID and the widget and manipulate it. And then you have the last one, which is the widget type. Because if you have lots of widgets, for example, here I did the example widget per widget, but we can do, for example, according to the widget type. So we have divider, index, and link. So you can group if you have many widgets and you want to do something for all the widgets at once, then you can use this macro. It's like the widget name, but with the widgets grouped. Okay, so here, let me go one by one so we can review how we can apply within the code. As said, the widget config, it's for visual control. You can modify background, change titles, subtitles, apply global or specific styles. Okay, then you have the data. The example here for the config, sorry, just changing a title color. Then the widget data, it's for the values that you have inside the widget. So we have the available data, value, less value, difference, variation, period, and less period. So you can change the information, for example, for visual outlets. If the value, like we are doing here in this example, if the value is negative, then the color will be red. So you're going to use the data to identify the value and the config to change the color. Okay, so this is where this is how they interact. So I have here one little example. According to the variation, you can change the color. And then we have the widget name and widget type. Then I have here also an example. According to the type, we are going to apply the widget data to identify the variation and then set the color. Use also the config to change the legend and the background color. Okay, you could also identify the widget using the widget name, but then using the widget name you would have to do one by one. So this is basically the each macro. And I'm going to show here this example inside the widget load. So we are using here the widget name to get the name of each widget, and then we are changing the information according to the store. So we are using the global variable, the widget data to define the values. So I'm going to post this video online, and then I'm going also to send you this application example, okay? So basically this is the only code that we have for this application that changes the widgets according to the company. And we are passing the parameter inside the global variable. Sorry. And here we're also using the ST-lookup to start the application, to bring the information. Question here from Fabio. Hello, Fabio. In the dashboard, isn't possible to add free text fields like title or intro text? I guess not. I don't know, with the events, maybe you can try using here the application in it. I don't think in one example now. Using the titles, I guess yes, inside the widgets, like we are doing here for this title. This is the divider, and then we are using here, for example, the title and subtitle. We are changing. When you go, for example, to the divider, you have here this title. It's like a random title. And inside the event, we are manipulating the titles to add this text, analysis of KPIs for store. And then we see here the name of the store. So this title and this subtitle we are changing dynamically using here the event. For the Gantt, we also did this change inside the version 9.13. And here inside the 006, we are adding more options, two important options, I should say. One of the options is the filter, that it's really important for this use of this diagram. So I'm going to run. This is a Gantt chart I have here already inside the grid application. This is the normal behavior. You have the grid application, and then you see the Gantt. Okay, we can select the periods. This is what we added inside the version 9.13. And now the difference is that we have added one more option for day. Okay, it was only until a month. So after the feedbacks from you guys, we decided to add one more. And with the day option, we have this horizontal scrolling for you to be able to see all the periods, the complete period according to your database. This database I'm using, it's not very big. We have only here 10 records, but with different dates from April 2025 to May 2026. So it's just few records just to display this Gantt. So you have the resource, task name, everything the same. And with the day option, you are going to have two lines to identify the day of the week and also the dates. So starting here, for example, in April 4, and then we have April 4, April 5, and then we go for the next week, always starting by Sunday, then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And here we start the week with the Sunday 6, and then next week Sunday 13th, and so on. So this is how we are organizing here the Gantt. Okay, you can still change and show, for example, yearly or monthly, and now with the option also for daily fill. The option for the filter, we can start here inside the grid models. So we are basically integrating the model of search with the Gantt. So you can set here, for example, the initial model as search, and inside the search, apply here the Gantt as we do with the grid. We have this warning just saying that the open in a new page will be ignored, like this option here, open in a new page, because with the filter, it's not used. So the warning is just about that. But then basically we are going to have the filter, okay, and then you can go for the Gantt. You have here two buttons, one for the to return to the search, and the other one to return to the grid application. So if I do, for example, let's try here, I'm going to add June 2025. I'm going to filter projects after greater than this month. So I'm going to have only projects from June on. Okay. When I go here to detail, I see only the projects started after June. And I can also hit down here to the filter or access the grid. You can also, inside the grid models, there is an option here to use iframe. So if you say yes, the application will start here, and you have the option to show results before or after the search. I can type here, for example, no, and then I'll have the results only after the search. So then you can integrate, for example, on the same page. You can change the layout to have it smaller if you want. It's not applied as a button and inside the toolbar of the Gantt, but then you have here the application integrated. If you need to use a filter like that, it's one option. You can still change here the layout or changing the fields of the search application. Okay. So this is what we have inside the Gantt. I forgot to mention inside the dashboard. Let me go back to the dashboard. Close project. The debug that we have already also modified, because there was a problem, not problem, but every time we needed to use the debug mode, that is really useful inside the dashboard. Okay, because then using the debug, you can see all the SQL commands to see what's really happening behind. Then the information usually were hidden behind the widgets, so you could not see the debug. And now we have added this small modal, so you can see all the SQLs that are being used to create the widgets and etc. So this is also something we did here inside the dashboard. And this is what we are going to release in this version today for you to update the version 9.13.006. Okay, there will be a video explaining all this. We have also added the documentation with the macros events, and I'm going to post this presentation too. Then Yeah, then this second part, now that I'm going to start the preview, the AI preview, it's something that we are working, and it's not available for this version. Okay, it's going to be available for the next versions. There's also another change that we are preparing, which is the PHP update. The PHP update will be for now for December. We are It's already okay. I have already versions running with PHP, but but we decided to release in a separated version because we have already here. See, this is the versions that I have here. In the internal versions, I have already the script case with the version 8.2. So this is already available. But we are just finishing the tests to send it out in the next weeks for you. And why 8.2 and not the latest one? PHP is already using the releasing. It has released the version 8.5 already, but we decided to go slow because the Scriptcase uses lots of databases and there are drivers missing, and we have many libraries and components, so we need to wait everybody to update so we can also update. And there are also lots of change of code for the newest versions of PHP. So since the version 8.1 will be out of security support after January, so we decided to jump to the version 8.2. So we have more time to test everything and release an update for other versions. Okay, so it's going to be smooth and and more secure for us to update and for you to update your projects too. Okay, even for example, if you see here champ, which is very common environment, they are still running under the 8.2 as well. This is because there are a lot of things missing for the newest versions. Now we can see the AI. What I did with the AI, I still don't have inside my version the option for AI, and we don't have a version, an internal version with this because it's in development. So I have asked to the developer to send me a video showing the options, and I'm going to run here the video and present you. You're going to have here the interface integrated with the AI inside the interface. So you're going to open here this window, and the first thing you have to do is to start the permissions. The first screen will be with this. It's like a fail to load, because then we are very careful with this permissions. So you're going to have this interface to set the API, and you will be able to choose the provider, OpenAI, Gemini, and DeepSeek. Those are the three that we have already integrated, and you also choose the model according to the provider. There will be the free models and also the paid models. You have to bring your key, your API key to Scriptcase. That is not going to be included for this first moment. So you apply your API and choose the model. Okay. So the developer is showing the free models, and he's going to test. For example, he's going to open a project, and he didn't give the permission yet, and he's going to test, and he's showing that the selected project is appearing as blue. The AI is recognizing the project, and he's going now to apply the API with OpenAI and GPT 5.1. This is the one he's going to choose for this project. So the configuration is going to be according to the project. So after he save it, Now the prompt is able to see the project, but it's not able to access the information. He's just asking, what can you do for me? And he's going to try to do something inside one event. And he's going to open the event and we'll ask to GPT to read the event. So it's just an echo. And he's going to ask GPT to read the event. Can you read the event for me? And GPT will not read because there's no permission yet. So he's testing the permission. I don't have permission to read this code. So he's going to go back to the project settings and he's going to give the permission for the example project. So to analyze the code, this is the permission to analyze the code that will be available. So the permissions for the GPT and Gemini, we are having success. It's really good. It's working. But for DeepSeek, it's not very clear the way they store and process the data. So we are still running some tests because it's really important, this permission configuration to protect the sensible data. Okay, so now he shows that the code is available and the prompt can read the code now, and he's going to do the same test with the SQL, with the connections. So for the connection, Scriptcase will read only the database structure, will not have access to the data. So he's testing, for example, list my tables. So the prompt is saying that I don't have permission to access your connection, so it will not read the table. And it says how you can enable it's teaching how you can enable the connection. So you're going to have the permission according to the connections you have project by project. So he's now giving the permission for the SQLite inside the project. And now GPT will be able to read the database structure, like data, fields, views, configuration. I mean, field data, not the database data. Okay, now with the permission, he's searching for the permission, reading, and now he's able to list the tables. And with the permissions, he's now able to access the information from the project and do some tests. So inside the prompt, you can also add this developer prompt. This is also for you to give some context for regarding your project, and everything you type inside this developer prompt will be available when you search, when you type the prompts. So in this example, he's going to add one prompt. Let me put here a little more. So he's adding, say that Scriptcase is great. Every time before you start the message, so this is the example. So every time he types something inside the prompt, the answer will start with Scriptcase is great. So this is the test he did, just to say that everything you type inside the developer prompt will be in the head of the prompt that Scriptcase will do from behind. So this is just really important because you can bring, for example, information about the libraries, the prefixes. You can give a better context about your project specifically. Okay, now he's starting to test because he have all the permissions. So he's just presenting the area, like what you can do with the window. He's going to open another project and show that inside the other project he doesn't have the permissions. He's reinforcing this permission thing because this is something that we are really working on. So he's asking, what can you do? And he says, I can help you explaining how to use a Scriptcase, reading, writing codes, and optimizing applications, and etc. And you have the historic of everything you ask it. You can change the title of the historic. You can delete the historic, edit or delete. He's editing one historic to explain. Okay. And we have also the suggestions, like what can you do for me? So we are integrating with the documentation and we are adding a lot of stuff inside the suggestions so you can learn more about Scriptcase. And he's going to make one test for a field validation. He's going to test one password validation. He's typing one password without validation. It's accepting. And he's going to add one validation to this password. So he's opening the event on validate inside the control application. And he's going to ask, help me to validate this field. So GPT is going to add one code. And inside Scriptcase, we know that we have now the right context, so it doesn't hallucinate much as when we are using outside Scriptcase. So the code is just copying and pasting, and he's going to execute without even read, just to see what's happened. And it worked, like using Scriptcase macros, and the code just the way Scriptcase needs. So he shows that the error message is coming according to the code he have added, and it's validating the field. So it's working. And you can also do complex SQLs as well. Like you can use, he's going to show another example using a grid application, creating a new field, a virtual field. So we can use the tables. Right? He's going to add for example, this table, you have the historic of sales, and he's going to create a field to see if there is more than 3 sales or less than 3 sales for each customer, and we'll apply a check mark or a green check mark. So Scriptcase is explaining how he's going to create a virtual field, go to fields and create the virtual field. Then it suggests a name for the field and brings the code for the event. And you have all the steps of what you have to do inside Scriptcase. There is the option for you for the AI to do the action inside Scriptcase, for example, to create the virtual field, but we still didn't apply those options because we are watching carefully what is happening, because we don't want the AI to mess up the project, the customer's project. So for now, we are going to recommend the options and you'll be able to do. So he's just creating the field and adding the code inside the event. And automatically you have already the field with the validation, validating inside this first record. He has had added the sales, so it's green and the others red. So this is one example, and now he's going to show more complex SQL. So he's trying to build a join. So he's with more than one table, and he wants to have more information about this customer. So you have, every time we have the SQL, we are going to have this button to edit and create, right? Because then you're going to be able to test the SQL according already with the connection that you have. So it shows the result. And you can also create the application directly from the prompt. He's going to create, you can review and edit the SQL and create the grid application. So he's just changing the SQL to make a test. And now creating the grid application. So from the prompt, you will be able to create the application. So it shows the fields according to the SQL, and without any change, he creates the application. So this kind of thing we see that we can use for any application. So for example, when you create a project, you have to select the connection database. You will be able, for example, to select the tables, and Scriptcase will create all applications and secured model, menu application, everything. So this is really powerful. He's showing now the lang. So he's creating one lang for the field, and we are adding this smart tasks to do some. In this case, he's going to add the lang variable, and he's going to use the AI to just, you have the button to translate automatically the lang. So he's going to type the information, the value in English, and ask the AI to translate, and you have all the fields with the translation. So this is something really nice as well. And this kind of smart tasks we are adding also for other options. Everything you see is like what we have already running up and running inside the development version here. And there are more things being developed, so that's why we are still holding the release, because we want to deliver something really nice for you to just to have a powerful tool inside Scriptcase, not only one simple integration but something with more value. So this is what we have. Tell me what you think. Let me see the questions. um, Thomas is asking for the dashboard. Yes, I'm going to just send it out. I'm going to post this video on YouTube, and then I'm going to add the project, attach it. Lars asks if can a local AI also be used. I guess for this first moment, no, but it's, yeah, just a start. Do you take Grok in consideration? It's very accurate in my tests. Yes, we do. Also, Claude. Yeah, we were. If there is another version here from that's not the same that Enrique was showing in the video with more models, but we will probably start with only those three: GPT, Gemini, and DeepSeek, and then add more because this is they need lots of tests. Yeah, it can be dangerous. AI will be able to get errors at running new apps. Yes, we saw some. We did some tests with errors as well, and help to correct. Will the AI model be able to update my SQL tables in project development? I guess this is something in the project side, right? I guess it can help you to develop that, Andrew, at this first moment. Yeah, because this is something in the project side, right? Okay, guys. So this is what I had for today, and I hope you enjoy the new version and the upcoming updates. I will. I'm preparing a video to show you all the options from the dashboard, like a small course from beginning to advanced options with everything we have added within this version, and we are going to release inside the YouTube channel. If you have questions or suggestions, you can apply inside the emails, or you can find us inside the chat inside the website. We are running our Black Friday campaign this week, so it's a good opportunity for you to update your license with a good price for the next year and to receive everything that we are planning to release for the next 12 months. Okay, so if you need anything, we are always here online to talk to you. So thank you very much for coming, for attending to this session, for being here, for the questions, for the comments. It's always a pleasure to be here with you guys. And I thank you very much, you, and I see you next webinar. Bye bye.